We're here in Auburn, California, just feet away from the infamous track at Placer High. I'm here with Des Lindon. It's day 3 of WSER State's training camp. You joined us for a little bit of it. How do you feel?
Like it's day 3 and I ran all of it, but I didn't, like maybe half of it. Less than half of it. But what I'm saying is the legs are pretty cooked.
They're pretty cooked. So even for an elite road marathoner such as yourself, you kind of recognize that these trails are no joke.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's always been the case. Like, I'm interested in trail, but I know it's not like a seamless transition. The engine is one thing, but the technical parts and managing the distances and all of that's going to be a totally different challenge. So I'm up for it. I'm intrigued by it. This was helpful because I've been on other trails, and I was like, this is hiking. I think you can run here.
There's a lot of fast miles that happen here between the start line and the finish line of Western State's 100, and that's actually something I wanted to talk to you about. Obviously, your history is in road marathon. You have an incredible history there. I want to talk about two things. One, your departure from road marathons as an elite athlete, and then your transition here into trail running.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually Western States. But let's talk about that decision that you announced the morning of Boston Marathon, kind of retiring, so to speak, from the elite level of road marathoning. What was that decision like for you?
Yeah, I think it was a couple years in the making, and you go in kind of Olympic cycles on the road and do the trials, and then it was a quick turnaround to Boston right after the trials, which wasn't my best effort. It was like, how can I do after a marathon a month ago or whatever the time frame was. And then after that race, it was like, okay, I'm not as competitive as I would like to be, and I would like to shift my focus, but not feel like I'm giving this a disservice or not enough effort. So turn the page here and then put the effort all into something new, and it hopefully will be trail and ultra.
I did notice there's a Tunnel Hill sign up on your ultra sign up. You can't hide.
Yeah, so I've learned.
we see everything. So making that transition into trails, and like what races do you have your sights on? I'm sure there will be the natural progression from the shorter distance 50K. And then kind of growing. Do you have aspirations for 100? What does your world look like in trail?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm out here at this camp because Western States is kind of on the bucket list and something I'm intrigued by. I don't know if I'll be any good at this stuff, so we'll see. And then there's sort of like the clock is on for, 42. When can I have a good race, and can that even happen, or is the time already slipped by? So yeah, I'm diving in head first, but I've had a few good friends in the trail space, Ruth Croft, Magdalena Louie, and Andy Cochran, that I do these trips with. And I feel like they have grand plans for me, and I've never been like, what are they? But now we'll start having those conversations. So I think they've been scheming for me, and I trust them.
I think we all have hopes for you.
Thanks, guys.
In our sport, it is like, it's not an obscure sport. It is a growing sport. But we love to see kind of that elite level talent in other disciplines, and truly marathon running is a very different discipline than 100-mile running. Even though it's the same technical sport, it's a very different discipline of that sport, right? Like track versus marathon.
Right. Yeah.
So we love to see like kind of that talent transcend and move into this space, and Magda has obviously done a fantastic job at it in the past, as well as many others. Do you feel like you want to gravitate towards big mountain stuff, or are you looking at like, what can I run fast?
I don't think I'm going to be good at big mountain stuff. Like, I've spent a couple miles on the mountain trails, and I was like, this is not, I don't think, I'd have to move and like really set up and commit for that. And I don't think that that's something I'm mentally into at this point in my life. So it'll be longer distances and runnable trails, hopefully. But I don't know, maybe you get into it and I find out like, I can build this skill quickly and it's coming around, and then everything could change. So I'm not going to pigeonhole myself in any spot, but I'm going to start with what I'm somewhat familiar with first and then move from there.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love it. So you have Tunnel Hill. Is there anything else that you're looking at between now and then as like tune-ups, or are you just going right into that Tunnel Hill 50?
Yeah, I mean, I have the entry. I wasn't totally sold on it, and then people started there was a little bit of chatter about it, and I was like, I guess I'm sort of committed here.
You're in.
So I think that'll happen. Yeah, I don't really have anything, like that's the big thing on the schedule. So pacing Joe here in about a month, which will be great, and then doing a 7-day hut-to-hut trip in the Swiss Alps, kind of just to see what that's all about, and probably confirm that I'm not made for it, but who knows? If I'm still alive after that, then I'll get ready for Tunnel Hill. And then it's going to be like filling in stuff. I don't really know the whole schedule all that well, so it's going to be a lot of conversations with folks and picking people's brains, which is fun because then I can get like introduced to people in the trail world who really know it well. And everyone seems really inviting, so I think I'll find people that will help me.
No, absolutely. This is a very, very open community.
Yeah.
We're very happy to have, like new talent, new athletes in here. And that's one of the things that I think draws a lot of people to the ultra and trail running community is that it is so open and inviting versus other communities that you hear about, the elitism and all that.
Yeah.
So, we're really excited to have you out here. Now let's talk about what you mentioned with Joe. You're pacing your friend Joe McConaughey out here, Brooks athlete as well. How did that come about? Was he just like, yo, you want to come run with me for a bit?
Pretty much. I mean, I was super stoked for him to qualify, and I think it's been something he's been chasing for a long time. That apparently they're called golden tickets.
The golden ticket.
Okay. So he got that done this year, and I was pumped for him. And I think he was messaging me like later that day, like, hey, would you want to pace? And I hadn't really announced much about Boston yet, but I was like, you know what, this might be a year where it works out. Like, count me in. I think he was a little surprised. He was like, really? And he's finding out I'm not. Yeah, like I'm in. Let's go. And he's finding out that it's not like a slam dunk that I'm going to be good at it. So he's being very patient and trusting right now.
Well, I mean, do you know what section you're going to be pacing?
Yeah, the one that we ran yesterday, which is.
Okay, so
Cal Street to Rucky Chucky is what I'm told. Am I learning the lingo?
Yeah, you're learning.
Okay.
You've got it down. The lingo's half the battle.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
You've got the fitness, you've got the lingo. Now you just need to sign up and just go for it.
Go for it, yeah.
So you get Cal Street, which you got to experience that yesterday. What was it like being out there? Were you like blown away by what the trails were like, the heat, all of that?
I was. I think I hyped it up in my mind to be much like scarier. And some of the runs I've done. While I was out at UTMB and then in New Zealand last year, like were way more difficult. So there was like, okay, this is not that. And I think I can help you, Joe, but I'm lacking fitness right now a little bit. I took 2 weeks off after Boston and like that was my longest run basically in a month. So my legs are rocked today.
That's particularly, I think everyone who is fit and running that, their legs are rocked from that.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's a lot of like just runnable steep downhill that just will blow your quads to pieces.
That's fair.
But yeah, I don't know if you're able to say you're out of shape. Like that's not really.
I took some good time off, but I think it'll come back quick enough to help him.
It sounds like you've got a nice base of fitness.
I'm banking on that.
Come back.
Yeah.
Awesome. So before I let you go here, I do want to talk a little bit kind of about what it's like to be in the trail community, what you've gathered from being here, and kind of what you look forward to on race day with Joe.
Yeah, I mean, this has been great just to see the community aspect of it, like everyone hanging out afterwards, kind of sharing their stories, giving tips, like the pros working together during the run, and like it doesn't feel like it's pretentious or aggressive or ego driven, and I'm not up in the front, so who knows, but the community as a whole just seems really inviting. And I'm aware I'm a newcomer. Like, I'm just trying to fit in. I'm not trying to be a person who stands out by any means. So everyone feels very welcoming in that way. Not like, oh, like you're here to make a statement or something. I'm just here to participate, have fun. And it's been really inviting. So it's good. It's
been really fun to watch people kind of approach you, and you've been so open to it. And, you interact with, the fans, if you can call them that here. It's been really fun to see you kind of come into a space where, like, kind of that question, like, when have you done something? When was the last time you did something for the first time? And this feels very much like that. And it's been interesting to see you kind of feel out of your element, but in your element at the same time.
Yeah, so. Yeah. I mean, on the course and out on the trails, out of my element, mixing it up with runners who love running and have a passion for the sport. The same stuff, it's great.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to on race day?
Doing whatever I can to make sure Joe has a good day. I think whether that's actually being out front and, encouraging him, all the things that help, like a pacer can do to help, would be best case scenario. And then as long as I'm not setting him back in any way, then that's a win. And if I feel like I'm impacting his race in a negative way, then it's like, okay, Joe, like, what do you need me to do to make sure this goes better for you? So whatever it takes to have him have a great day. I'm game for it, and I'm excited. I think he's ready to do something special. He had a great camp, and he's a guy to be rooting for.
He had a phenomenal race at Black Canyon, getting his ticket. He's been stoked on this. Like, again, this has been how many years coming that he finally got that ticket?
Yeah.
So last thing, I'm gonna put the plug in right now.
Okay.
A lot of people refer to Western States as the Boston of 100 milers because it is that net downhill, lots of climbing in the middle and towards the end. I just, going to put that out there that you seem to do pretty well at that course. So maybe that might translate. You just got to slow it down just a litle bit and extend it.
Go for a few more hours. And yeah, the quads feel familiar. This does feel like a familiar fatigue from pounding some downhills. So maybe there's something there. I mean, I'm certainly, I came here interested. I'm leaving inspired, and I think I have a little bit of the bug. And I think race day will only turn that up. So.
Awesome.
It's good stuff.
I love it. Well, we'll see you here in a couple weeks, Des Lindon. Thank you so much for joining me. And yeah, let's party till Auburn.
Love it.